locally? Do you have resources here that you turn to on a regular basis? Or are you finding that really the palette covers everything?
Yeah, I would say the palette kind of covers everything. The show takes place in Bon Ton, Louisiana. But it also takes place in Mississippi and in Dallas, and it's all over the South. Alan is extremely involved in the music. I work with Alan also on 6 Feet Under, and he is a great showrunner and a great creative, smart guy. And again, credit to Alan and to HBO in that they take music seriously and they give you enough of a budget to put some music in and really make it work. As far as the process, it's kind of a basic process in that we see the script and a rough cut of the film, of the show, and usually the editors will temp a certain song into the scene, and it's my job to kind of find the better song for the scene. And as a matter of fact, with Alan and the main theme song, which is phenomenal, Bad Things by Jace Everett, Alan originally found that song. His mode of working is that he'll write for an hour and then he'll take an iTunes break, and $100 later he'll get back to writing. And he had found Bad Things that way. And the plan was always for me to find, that was like the placeholder. The plan was for me to find the song. That was okay. And we had hit some things. Some people wrote some things for us that were also great, but at the end of the day, we could not beat it. And especially when we put it to the film that Digital Kitchen did for the opening of the show, it was, it had the right mix of menace and humor and sex, and that's what ultimately worked. But that's kind of how the process works. Is sometimes you go through a bunch of choices to realize you had the right one in the first place, or a lot of times, like I said, when I see the rough cut, they'll put in a song, and I'll say, well, that's perfect. There's no way we're going to be able to beat that. And then once you start getting into it, you see there's other things that work as well or better, and hopefully at the end of the day you come up with.
Two follow-up questions. Do you tend to feed editors in advance what you think you'd like to, in terms of just stocking their library with your ideas? And when it comes to moments where you feel like you have to have something written, I imagine, especially with a theme, you spend a great deal of time reaching out to people. And what was that like in those follow-up calls of, describe that process, because I think a lot of people have questions about why I got a call and then nothing happened.
Yeah.
So.
Well, one thing that we reached out. I don't want to talk about a musician whose song did not make it as the theme song, but
you don't have to name names.
Well, I will in this case, because the song didn't make it into the show and on the soundtrack, and he's totally a friend of the show. But C.C. Adcock, who many New Orleans people know, and a great musician. Great musician and a great. I don't know if hustler is the right word, but a hustler in the best sense of the word in the music business. He actually reached out to us initially, and he wrote a phenomenal song for us called "Bleed to Feed," which we were all hoping that would be the new theme song. And we did love it, and we did kind of move forward with that. But then at the end of the day, it was not working as well for us as Bad Things. We did end up finding another spot for it in the show, and we're very proud to have it on our True Blood soundtrack. But I would say we were a little disappointed, but again, we were able to repurpose it, and it's still a great song that he wrote for us.
Did your budget allow for you to give people money to do demos, or was this really labor of love?
It was a labor of love.
Right.
Yeah, we were not really handing out money at that point. It just didn't really allow for that. But again, the song did make it in the show. It made a little money that way.
I do think sometimes there's an expectation when you reach out to someone and you're asking them, or the conversation does come up. So
yeah, I think if you're reaching out to like a major star, not that C.C. Adcock's not a major star, but if you're reaching out to a major star to do something on spec, then there's usually some money involved or a kill fee. But this was a brand new show that nobody had ever heard of. It was a great opportunity for many musicians to give it a shot. And if you do get a song in as a theme song to a TV show, there is some nice benefits to that.
Upside.
Yeah.
Well, Kevin, you've licensed a lot of music.